Holy shitballs, Batman. Are we streaming to YouTube? Are we streaming to YouTube? We'll see how long that lasts. So, few things before we begin. Quite a few things before we begin. Since got some catching up to do. Literally 5 years. To the day. To the day. Shout out Casio Squad. To the day, 5 years. Since I have streamed to YouTube. Wild, man. Wild. All right, so first of all, it took me quite a few minutes to figure out how to smush all these chats into this screen. And this is the best thing I could think of at the moment. Maybe I'll make it prettier in the future or something like that. But we've got Rumble below me, YouTube to the over there, and then Pilled way over there. And I'm streaming to all three. YouTube is the mainstream platform, reach the mainstream audience. Rumble is kind of alternative mainstream when you really think about it. And then Pilled is like the underground streaming platform. But I love them and I want to keep supporting them and streaming over to Pilled. So this is how it's going to be. What else? Monday, Wednesday, Friday are going to be the streaming days that I stream to all three platforms. I'm an hour late tonight for reasons. YouTube was down. I uploaded a YouTube video a couple hours ago, and right when I uploaded it, YouTube went down and people were having issues. So, okay, I'll go with the confirmation bias. I'll blame it on myself. I broke YouTube. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the tentative streaming times and days. Sometimes I'm fashionably late by a couple minutes. Some nights I might take off, but if you're following me on Twitter, Telegram, or Truth Social, I'll always post the links before I stream. And then it took me a little bit to figure out how to stream to YouTube. I freaking forgot. Everything's different now. Took me like half an hour to figure out how to stream to YouTube. And I'll just have to move that into the workflow. I'll probably set up the streams a couple hours beforehand so you'll see the template placeholder video there on Rumble and YouTube and whatnot. What else? Everything that I upload to YouTube will go to Rumble. So I have two YouTube channels. The main one I'm streaming to right now, Destroying the Illusion 2.0. I have to wait a couple of days to change the name of that. But I'm going to change the name of Destroying the Illusion 2.0 to, I think, just like Jordan Vlogs or Sather Vlogs or something like that. So the 2.0 YouTube channel will be just like a low-key vlog channel. I'm going to separate that away from Destroying the Illusion. So I'll have two channels. This one, the main Destroying the Illusion YouTube channel, will be like dedicated for news and research and whiteboard videos and these live streams. So it'll be more news dedicated. The 2.0, soon to be vlog channel, will be more for just chill. Me recording thoughts and rants in my vehicle and vlogs, whatever posts. What else? And yeah, everything that goes to both YouTube channels will go over to Rumble. So that'll kind of be the workflow, how things go. I know some people prefer Rumble. They've got set up on there. Some people prefer YouTube. Some people, whatever. It's all good. And then my streams will just be the same shit I've been doing on Rumble for 4 or 5 years since I got banned on YouTube. So, man, it was pretty shocking. The past couple of YouTube videos I uploaded over the past few days, people get the notification still, I guess. It's pretty cool. Notification squad's still a thing. But I was pretty surprised. Do I want to say I was surprised? Not really. But it was enlightening to see how many people have not heard from me in 5 years. Because when all of our channels got banned 5 years ago and got nuked into orbit, went up into the ether, a lot of folks just didn't know where to find us again, how to find us again. They didn't know we migrated. A lot of us migrated over to Telegram or Rumble. So there was quite a few folks that, hi, nice to see you again after 5 years. Kind of wild. Reunion. So I had to update everybody on what I've been doing with my life. And hey, I actually did not quit the internet. I've just been on other platforms. And, work, content style, looks of videos, they'll always change over time. So I'm just going to do the same thing, pretty much. Same thing. My live streams are not pretty. Some people make nice little templates and fancy things to put the little chat boxes in and all that. I'm like, screw it. Too much time. Looks too produced. Some of these streamers, podcasters, it's like too produced. Like, bro, you're streaming from your spare bedroom. You're trying to make it look all fancy and shit. I don't know. To me, sometimes fancy sucks. I like things that look ghetto because they have soul. So, okay. Anything else I want to discuss? What are we talking about today? Let me check my handy dandy mini whiteboard. It's like the thumbnails for these live streams too. I want to spend as little time on these thumbnails as possible, so I came up with the idea a month or two back. I'm just going to write the topics of the stream on this little whiteboard and take a photo of it for the thumbnail. So that's why. Plus, it's like a mini whiteboard. Fun thumbnail. What are we talking about today? Let me remind myself. Speaking of YouTube, the Democrats are mad at YouTube. They sent a strongly worded letter to Google today. Upset over Trump's settlement with YouTube. And I'm assuming upset that channels are getting let back on. So now I can talk shit about Democrats on YouTube. Wow. Maybe hell is freezing over. Trump held a press conference with FBI Director Kash Patel today announcing how many freaking criminals they've arrested across the country over the past few months. Kind of a nothing burger press conference, but it was enlightening. It was good to hear. Really interesting news story from the Army, actually, about nuclear micro-reactors. I want to spend a few minutes talking about that because I have been researching nuclear micro-reactors for a hot minute, last few weeks, and I've been writing a Substack article that I've been working on for a bit. I wish I would have published it before this news story about the Army dropped, but I've been writing a Substack article actually about nuclear microreactors and space-based solar power. So to see this news story about the Army developing and rolling out nuclear microreactors, pretty baller. We'll chat about that. And some stuff on Venezuela, and we'll also make fun of the mainstream media because they're losing their press passes to the Pentagon. Bummer. And that's what's on deck. And then at the beginning of these streams, for the new YouTube audience, seeing me again after 5 years, I always do a bit of shameless self-promotion. Because fun fact, this channel on YouTube is not monetized. So I did get the channel back, but it's not monetized. So is what it is. Got to support myself because what was this first comment I got on YouTube today? Can't wait to find out if you get $7,000 or not. I hope not, bro. I appreciate the banter. I love banter. You guys can give me shit if it's in good spirits. No. I do not get $7,000 per post from foreign countries. If I did, then I would have fancy templates for these screens and hire video editors to make my videos look awesome. My whiteboard would be gold framed. So we've got to support ourselves. Now, for all those channels I just mentioned, or if you want to find me on wherever, I have an All My Links page where, check this out, all my links are. Amazing, I know. Because I got banned on Linktree, by the way. One of the 24 different tech platforms that banned me. I got banned on Linktree, a freaking website where you just put links on. I got banned on Linktree. So I'm using all my links. Doesn't look as good, but it gets the job done. You can find links to my website, my health coaching group, all my video channels, Rumble, YouTubes, my supplement brand, Conscious Strength, all the links to that, my Substack. If you want to subscribe on Locals, Patreon, Subscribestar, feel free. If you do, support on Patreon or Locals, you'll get access to my private Telegram chat called Only Friends. Yes, Only Friends. Really fun chat. And then the tip jars down there, one-time donies, buy me a coffee, PayPal, etc., crypto. And then all my shitpost platforms, Twitter, Telegram, Instagram. I really don't post on TikTok that much. They banned my account. I'm on my 12th account on TikTok. It's insane. I should remove that, but True Social, Instagram, Telegram, Twitter are the main ones. Shockingly, Instagram has not been censoring stuff since Mark Zuckerberg caved like a little bitch earlier this year. So Instagram's actually getting a lot more fun these days. I do post on Gab sometimes, but too many trolls on Gab for me to care about it all that much. Twitter, Telegram, Instagram, probably the main ones, and True Social. So all my links will be down below in the description. Go check out Conscious Strength. If you want to support this show, grab yourself some supplements. ConsciousStrength.net, link below. Got a solid greens powder, collagen powder, methylene blue, electrolytes, a lot of stuff on there. Shilajit gummies. So, I was starting this. It was just in its infancy. This Conscious Strength brand was in its infancy when I got banned on YouTube 5 years ago. Still have it. Especially with RFK Jr. and Maha blowing up. I've been putting a lot of work into it over the past 9 months, 12 months. With Maha getting so big. So I'm doing a lot with Conscious Strength. I think that's everything I wanted to mention. Let me check out the chat before we proceed. Destroying the Illusion's back. Yeah. Do I want to change the name of the Rumble channel? I can't change the URL. But maybe I'll start changing some stuff to Destroying the Illusion. Got to get more DTI stickers in. DTI shirts on the website. It's back, baby. Destroying the Illusion's resurrected. The YouTube chat's going to be tough for me to make note of. Boo, YouTube. Greedy, money to the views. Yeah. But we can reach a larger audience by sticking to YouTube. What's my opinion about the Tic Tac UFOs? Depends on which one you're talking about, but I can give you a general answer. I think 90% of the craft that are seen in our skies are man-made. Black project, some corporate contractor, or secret government special access project. 90% though, that's not 100. I think a few of those things in our skies are not man-made. We can ponder about that later. And that's of the legitimate sightings. On the internet, there's a lot of fake sightings, CGI, space debris, helicopters misidentified as UFOs. So, but I will tell you, I think a lot of these so-called UFO experts being rolled out to the mainstream audiences are gatekeepers. big old limited hangout disclosure op. And I do think a lot of the UFO activists, influencers on social media, a lot of them are kind of wacky. They're either buying into the mainstream gatekeeping limited hangout, or they're on the polar end of the spectrum, believing the Galactic Federation, everybody's a secret space blower. We got spaceships patrolling Alpha Centauri type stuff. Which, years ago, I was maybe sucked into that a little bit. Not as much anymore. What are my thoughts on Cobamer? I've caught him faking some UFO posts before. Posting videos of helicopters and space junk, calling it Galactic Federation Pleiadian motherships. So I don't pay much attention to Cobb, honestly. Am I familiar with Chris Bledsoe? I know the name. I know the general gist of his story. I don't know much about him or the finer details of his story, so I don't have an opinion on him. The backwards flag is annoying for some reason. It's not backwards. It's just the video is mirrored. So I guess it's backwards to you, but... I just have to say hi to the YouTube friends real quick. A lot of these folks probably haven't seen me in a while. Asking me about my beliefs and things these days. I had a lot of comments of people asking me about my where my beliefs are at these days, which I guess we'll get there. I'll start uploading videos and talking about things, and you'll figure it out, I suppose. All right. Let's get into it. Starting off with the press conference today. Kash Patel, FBI director. Pam Bondi was there as well. Todd Blanche, Deputy Attorney General, and Trump. Some people were thinking this was going to have to do with Antifa. Turned out it did not have to do with Antifa, at least directly. They were just talking about Operation Summer Heat, which is the FBI's operation where they've secretly gone into some cities over the summer, over the last 4, 5, 6 months, basically conducting intel and recon operations before the public move-in of the National Guard and other law enforcement operations. So they've been in Chicago for, the FBI has been in Chicago for like 5 months, doing a bunch of prep work. Again, intel, recon, I'm sure, so that when public law enforcement moves in, National Guard moves in, they already know where to go and who to go after. Some of the stats that were presented during this press conference: about 29,000 felons arrested in 7 months, violent felons, and that's already double Joe Biden's yearly totals. Few thousand illegal firearms seized off the streets. Like 1,000 pounds of fentanyl confiscated. 1,000 pounds. You always see these stats. That much fentanyl was enough to kill 55 million Americans. It's like, man, and people are shooting this shit up every day. All at once, it's enough to kill all those Americans, but just imagine being addicted to that stuff. Good God. I don't know if any of you guys know people who've gone down the fentanyl hole. I don't, but back when I was in high school, I knew quite a few people that got into OxyContin and opioids. Some people really screwed themselves up. Some of the old friends I knew from back in the day, man. So I know a lot of people that have gone down bad paths with drugs, but I don't know. I just don't have experience with fentanyl. It's crazy to me because I've seen what OxyContin and meth does to people, and to imagine there's things stronger than oxys, fentanyl. People are going to mind blowing. 5,400 missing children found, up 30% from last year. Gang arrests, up 200%, which is triple. Espionage arrests, up 50%. So that's what happens when you let cops be cops. Trump also revealed that San Fran is next on his list of cities to go into and clean up. Yeah, they're going to need a giant street sweeper to get all the hypodermic needles off the sidewalks. And the turds. Is that app still a thing? The app you could download that showed you all the places people saw shit on the sidewalk in San Francisco. Did you know about that? That was a thing. You could enter in where you saw human feces on the sidewalk in San Fran. And it had a real-time map of their shitty streets. Cool. Please go into Seattle. Please go into Seattle. Speaking of Seattle, how my Mariners doing? Can you guys let me know? Don't let me know yet. Let me figure it out after the stream. I want my Mariners to win. I enjoy a little bit of bread and circus, not going to lie. But I don't waste time on it. And I don't bet on sports. Gosh, that is... I saw the other day that Polymarket has been valued at, was it $5 billion? $6 billion for a betting app? That is sad. That is sad. Gambling is getting way out of control. But anyway, I enjoy some sports. I just usually watch 5-minute highlights. I don't waste 15 hours a week watching sports ball games. And I don't bet. But I am playing fantasy football with the Badlands crew. And the good news is I'm doing pretty darn good in the Badlands Fantasy Football League. Which I think we did throw down some money in that one. Can't remember. So, hope I win. No, but what I want is for the Seattle Mariners to win the World Series and then get invited to the White House and accept that invitation and see the Seattle Mariners take pictures with Trump, because the absolute meltdown that the city of Seattle would have. Because you got to understand, Seattle, which I'm from the Puget Sound area. Not Seattle, across the water from Seattle, but I spent a few decades of my life living very close to Seattle in the Puget Sound. Seattle sports teams almost always suck. There's been a few highlights with the Seahawks in 2013 and maybe a couple seasons of the Mariners here and there, but Seattle sports teams almost always suck, which is why a lot of people are rooting for the Mariners right now, and the city of Seattle is absolutely going apeshit over how good the Seattle Mariners are doing. People in Seattle have a very fanatical love for the Seahawks and the Mariners. So if the Mariners win the World Series and accept an invitation to the White House, because I think there's some pretty based dudes that play for the Mariners, not wokies. And if the Mariners go to the White House, take a bunch of pictures with Trump, the city of Seattle would melt the fuck down. And I would just, oh my God.
Everything woke turns to shit.
Oh man, it would be so glorious. That's what I want. Bainbridge Island. I've been to Bainbridge Island a few times. No, not from there though. Thank God I'm not from Bainbridge Island. That's where all the Microsoft and Amazon tech executives live. And I think what's his nuts, the ex-governor Inslee. Doesn't he live on Bainbridge Island? I think Bezos or Bill Gates has a house out there. Bunch of pompous liberal boomers on Bainbridge Island that play pickleball. That's where pickleball was invented. Bainbridge. All right, that's enough Sports Ball Northwest talk. Whoops, wrong button. Senate Democrats press Google and YouTube on Trump's settlement. Today, Senators Elizabeth Warren, Ron Wyden, Bernie Sanders, Richard Blumenthal, and Jeff Merkley raised concerns about how the settlement came about amid ongoing antitrust litigation. They're all big mad that Google is eating shit and caving, submitting to Trump. All tech platforms are. I mean, this is the video I just uploaded to YouTube, if YouTube is working. Why is YouTube letting us back on? Good question. And I think that's because of Trump's lawsuits against them. What I think Trump said behind the scenes, back door, is that he told Zuckerberg and Google, like, I could really screw you guys if I wanted to, but if you do this, I'll go easy. And that this consisted of stopping the censorship, letting people back on the platforms, admitting they were banning folks on behalf of government entities. So, because Trump's settlement with Facebook was 25 million, YouTube was 25 million, Twitter was 10 million. Those are really slaps on the wrist. So I think those are just small settlements. They admit wrongdoing. They stop censoring. But I wonder how the precedents are now set, because a handful of us tried suing Google 5 years ago after our channels were banned. And, of course, Northern District of California, liberal judges, friendly to big tech, we didn't stand a chance. Our lawsuit got tossed. But now that Google has admitted they were settled with Trump and forced or agreed to admit that they were censoring on behalf of the Biden administration, which is what? First Amendment? Breaking the First Amendment right there? Constitutional issue. Does that now set a precedent and we could try these lawsuits again, maybe with better luck? I wonder. But of course, now that a bunch of us are on the tube again, Pocahontas is mad. Ron Wyden. What else on big tech? X monetization might be going away. Rumor, though, because this is from the Breaking News Brigade on Twitter, and I haven't found much to confirm this. So, might be true, might not. You can't just read a post on the internet and assume it's true just because, you know, it has 2.4 million views. It must be true. An ex-executive, this is the rumor, an ex-executive has reportedly suggested that the platform might discontinue its creator monetization program, claiming the initiative has ultimately caused more harm than benefit to the platform and its community. Twitter might do away with monetization, so the rumor goes. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't make much on Twitter. $50 a month. Maybe $100 a month. It's not that much. It's only like $100 if I'm posting constantly. You really have to have quite a few followers and get a lot of engagement to make any kind of decent money on Twitter. But the monetization program, I would fully agree that it's caused more harm than benefit, because all people do on Twitter now is jack content, steal people's posts, clickbait, sensationalize shit to get shares and views and clicks and money. That's the difficult thing with social media monetization, is that it incentivizes sensationalism to get clicks and engagement. It incentivizes stealing other people's content. Not so much on the video platforms, but definitely on the text, like a Twitter or a Telegram type of user interface, right? If it's a quick messaging app, that definitely incentivizes sensationalist bullshit. And big problem on X is the content thieving and sensationalized trash. Let me get back to the chat here. How many do we have live on YouTube? I just want to check real quick. We're at 112 on Rumble. 200 on YouTube. Okay. I mean, first stream back. Sort of spontaneous, not at the normal time. People will figure it out. Pretty cool, though. Chats are active. I dig that. I can apply for monetization on my channel. Or appeal for it, but I don't know. I'm kind of nervous to do that. All right, let's talk about nuclear micro-reactors. Nuclear. The U.S. Army on Tuesday revealed the Janus program. The Janus program. A more than 6-year effort by the Army and the Pentagon's Defense Innovation Unit with the goal of developing and constructing hundreds of state-of-the-art small nuclear reactors to power military bases across the United States. The reactors, dubbed micro-reactors, sometimes they're called SMRs, small nuclear reactor, SMR. Small micronuclear reactor, SMR. These will generate less than 20 megawatts of electricity, enough to power a small town or base. I believe on average 1 megawatt will power about 1,000 homes. On average. It will be small enough to be transported by either ship or aircraft to a remote military location overseas, such as islands in the Pacific. This is massive. And SMRs are also being developed by private companies for public use. I believe there's a project in Tennessee and maybe a couple of other ones. There's one in Utah, but that one might have just got scrapped. So some of these tech companies are trying to develop SMRs for public use, but also for data centers. All these big AI data centers are sucking up so much energy that these tech companies are investing into small nuclear microreactors. But it's basically what the military has been doing for, 50 years? They have SMRs on subs and aircraft carriers. You're basically just taking one of those small nuclear microreactors and plopping it on land. And if you can... there's so much I want to say about this, but I don't want to sit here blabbing for half an hour. So I'll save it for a video that I'm planning to record tomorrow or Friday. Probably tomorrow. This is a step away from the Green New Deal bullshit. Green New Deal, wind, land-based solar, it's trash. Especially wind. Wind energy just sucks. So now that Trump's in, he's forcing the move away from Green New Deal scam tech, trash green tech, towards better green tech. And the thing with nuclear is that there has been a huge attack on nuclear energy by both the oil, gas, coal industry and Green New Deal industry, like Greenpeace. And a lot of these globalist-funded, woke, green energy organizations, they hate nuclear. Greenpeace and a few of these others. And it's really not that. Even the so-called meltdowns of Fukushima and Chernobyl, they were not that destructive. There's so much fear porn that's been put out for decades about nuclear. And then the government put so many regulations up that the construction projects just aren't feasible. And they take decades. But now nuclear has advanced to a point where they don't need those big giant towers anymore. And they can use salt for cooling and thorium for the energy production. So nuclear is advanced to a point where they can literally make small micro-reactors that are the size of a semi-truck, like small, and plop them all over the place. And if you have that powering, whether it's a forward operating military base, or you just plop a bunch right next to a town, it greatly diminishes the need for giant electrical wires to cross 1,000 miles of forest. You don't need the giant wires from the hydroelectric dam 500 miles away to cross over the mountain pass and get to the city. You could just plop a few micro-reactors next to it. So the decentralization is greatly increased with small micro-reactors. Decentralization. And then, so I think it's the next step towards energy abundance and decentralized energy. It's the next step. There's still better. There's still technologies beyond nuclear microreactors we could use, or maybe use them both together, like one being space-based solar power. Space-based solar power would increase that decentralization even further. And then beyond that, we can get into the zero-point energy production, free energy, all of that, but I still think free energy, zero-point energy, is a ways out over unity tech, just due to economic factors, industrial factors. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Small nuclear microreactors, the next step. After that, space-based solar power. After that, the economy and infrastructure and all of that will be evolved to a point where maybe zero-point tech can be integrated. Or they'll be all integrated together. Pretty wild, man. This is awesome. Just the capabilities that are unleashed from something like this. Not just for the public, but for the military. Plop one of these at a forward operating base. Don't have to worry about shipping in oil and gas to power it. The logistics are just made much easier. All right, let's continue. Don't they have those micro-nuke reactors in Antarctica? I don't know. That's a good question. If McMurdo or one of those stations uses it. I don't think so. But I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. Chat says, I've been reading some good things about nuclear power. Yeah, thorium. Thorium is a much better fuel for nuclear use than uranium, because you really can't, what do they call it when they enrich? You really can't enrich thorium to make a weapon. So using thorium for nuclear power is so much safer than uranium, because if a bad actor gets their hands on thorium, they really can't make a bomb out of it. And there's also salt-based cooling mechanisms now that work very effectively. So these nuclear microreactors are actually safer than a giant frickin' gas refinery. Oh, but what if the small nuclear reactor gets hit by a bomb? Not much will happen. But if the giant oil refinery gets hit by a bomb, you and everybody within a few mile radius are fucked. They'll use it for the military, but not for us. I just described that, bro. They are using it for us. There are numerous companies developing small microreactors for the public right now. There's already construction projects in Tennessee and Wyoming and elsewhere. So, I think Idaho National Laboratory is looking at it. There's a few. The Pentagon has confiscated press passes from virtually every major media organization in America after they refused to sign the new agreement. So the Pentagon is forcing any media company, media representative, journalist who's in the Pentagon to do a few things. That is basically wear a visible badge, and they can't roam free anywhere anymore. And credentialed press can no longer try to convince people to leak military secrets, which they do all the time. Some of these media journalists even bang them. Try to get classified info over pillow talk. So, like, basic things that it blows my mind weren't the rules already. Pete Hegseth has now made them the rules. Can't walk anywhere you want. Got to have a badge. Can't bang my service members for secrets, basically. Or beg them for them. But the media is freaking out. Oh, no. U.S. news outlets reject Pentagon press access policy. Even Fox News is rolling out a bunch of dickheads to complain about it. Oh, no. Press crackdown. What about freedom of the press? Oh, no.
And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame.
I wish the government would just ban itself.
Dude, cry about it. Why don't you cry about it? Can't just expect to go wherever you want because you're the press. Like, is this the most pompous industry? Are these people some of the most arrogant? What industry, what line of work has the most arrogant people? What would you guys say? Let me know in the chat. Lawyers, doctors, friggin' stock traders on Wall Street? I don't know. Journalists, mainstream media journalists have to be up there. I mean, they're on camera all day long. Getting their makeup done. Look at Potato Head there. There ain't a wrinkle on that bald-ass forehead. They're caking so much powder on that guy's face that you could ski down it. Him too. Baldy over there. Definitely the most arrogant industry. One of them, at least. Speaking of Kash Patel, I guess after the press conference, he went over to talk to John Solomon and appear on his podcast. And Kash Patel was saying that more indictments are coming.
Last question. All the things that you've seen, all the weaponization you've uncovered since you came in and found these secret files or restricted files, all those things. Beyond those who are already charged, do you think you've seen other crimes that might eventually get referred to justice?
Yes, we are looking at so many different leads on criminal activity by those who are in positions of power. And we're not going to stop until every single one of those is fully exposed. The documents are provided either to Congress or the courts of law, and make every referral we can into the Department of Justice. These indictments that you've seen and the ones that you're going to see coming up here in this near future are just the beginning. But I have to remind the audience one thing. Everybody's like, it's 7 months. What have you guys been doing?
Yeah.
Well, they spent 20 years building this disease temple of corruption. It takes a little bit of time to defeat it and beat it down. And I'm not asking
Way
you
more
to
than
trust
20.
me. I'm asking you to look at the work the men and women of the FBI have done so far in these 7-8 months, and just imagine what we're going to do come the year end.
The FBI looks a lot more like the one I covered 20, 30 years ago than the one I had to endure and cover the last 10 years. And that's a great credit to you, Director. There's no doubt about it. The president said it today. We know it's true.
Way more than 20 years. Come on. Federal Reserve, 1913, Rockefellers, Carnegies. I mean, this country's been slowly screwed over for at least 110 years. At least. And what? They tried their hands at a central bank twice before the Federal Reserve and were failed each time. Till they finally, killed all the people on the Titanic. So, killed all those Federal Reserve opposition folks. Icebergs don't melt steel beams. Something like that. Hey, I saw in the chat, somebody's excited to come to the Old State next week. By the way, should have mentioned this at the beginning. Yes, next week at the Old State Saloon in Eagle, Idaho. Old State Saloon. Super based bar. I will be giving a presentation on Q. That's how based they are. They're inviting me to come in, do a presentation on Q. We will be streaming this definitely to Rumble. Their Rumble channel, my Rumble channel. I'm going to try to get this streamed to Badlands too. Probably be streaming this to Badlands. I don't know if this will be streamed to YouTube, this channel here, Destroying the Illusion. Maybe. I'm thinking tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to record just a short video, something having to do with Q, upload it just to test the algorithms, test the channel. It'll be my Q test video. And if that goes well, maybe, if I don't get banned or restricted video or whatever, then maybe I'll stream this presentation at the Old State Saloon to this channel, YouTube. But yeah, next Tuesday. Did I give you the time? Tuesday, October 21st at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So if you're in the area, come stop by. Twill be fun. Trey Phillips says, Q, is this a parody account? Yeah, it's a pair of D's nuts in your mouth. Sucker! Normie's brains will melt. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Should be a good turnout. Old State is pretty infamous in this area for the shit stirring they do. Like they have a heterosexual awareness month they hold, and they do conspiracy theory trivia nights at their bar, and they have a solid audience, so they'll be good. I don't expect much heckling. Probably be more heckling in these YouTube comments than but I can handle the hecklers. All right. New York Times. I don't want to deal with their paywall, so excuse this little bar down here. But basically, they're just writing some dumb shit hit pieces, trying to say that Kash Patel and Attorney General Pam Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. This is mainstream media reporting for you. Bunch of high school rumor mill bullshit. Their reporting is just basically saying that they all don't like each other. That is the point of their article. Todd Blanche, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, they don't like each other. Wow, amazing journalism. And you want me to give you my email and give you money to subscribe. Wow.
You are fake news.
Kash Patel says, New York trash. New York trash.
Why are you gay?
I got to show the YouTube friends out there all my buttons. I got to show you my buttons.
What an odd thing to say.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
All right. On to more important matters. Blue states are setting up a shadow public health alliance to counter RFK Jr. I've been discussing this on Maha News, on Badlands, for a few weeks now. Yes, so what we have are the West Coast states, Washington, Oregon, California. I think Hawaii is including themselves with them. And then states in the Northeast, so Connecticut, New York, New Hampshire, a few of those New England states. They're creating their own little health alliances with their own recommendations on vaccines because they're big butthurt about RFK Jr. and what's happening to the CDC and HHS and FDA. So these blue states are banding together to come out with their own vaccine recommendations. Force kids in school to get vaccinated. That's basically what they're doing. They've been doing this for a few months now, actually. It's not really new, but the Wall Street Journal wrote a report on it today. And then, speaking of RFK Jr., his wife went onto The View. Cheryl Hines went onto The View, and I haven't seen this video yet. We're going to watch it together. Apparently, they were, these shrieking sandy vagina ladies. They were giving her shit over vaccines.
When you say that they are pro-vaccine, it seems as though Bobby and Trump are casting doubt on the efficacy of the vaccine.
Good.
Which makes Americans very nervous. So that's the problem that we're having.
Okay.
Does it make you nervous? Does it make you nervous? And what, did the clap light go on at that exact time?
I understand. Yeah. I understand that. And it's interesting because I don't know if you saw 60 Minutes just did a piece about the vaccine injury compensation program.
Yeah.
So people that have had vaccine injuries can be compensated if they can prove it. And they have paid out $5.4 billion.
Mind you, it's very, very tough to go to the vaccine injury court and prove it. Very tough. And they still paid out $5.4 billion. Very tough for them to get to admit and side with you. All right? And then, it's awful. And most people that get vaccine injuries don't realize it's the vaccine as well.
For vaccine injuries. So my question is, can we do better?
Is that all vaccines or just the COVID vaccine?
It's all vaccines.
It's all vaccines.
As far as I know. As far as I know.
Okay.
But so the question is, yes to vaccines. Yes, they are important, and they are an important part of our health care. Can we do better?
Yeah. She's probably just pandering to the audience here.
Can we make them safer? Can we make them, can we listen to parents who say, my child got the vaccine and changed?
Believe all women.
And stopped hitting markers, stopped developing the way they were developing. Can we listen to people when they say that instead of saying, you're crazy?
Perhaps I agree with that, but you want to listen.
Ladies, I just want to say, please don't get nose jobs. They look weird. You can always tell when a nose has had a job, and it looks a little funky. You don't need to do it. You don't need to do it. And you don't need to do the vaccines either, so. But she is sitting on a panel with probably 5 vaccine-damaged brains So what can you expect from an audience like that? I'm going to do a quick chat break, and then I've got like 5 or 6 more tabs here we'll go through. We'll rapid fire the rest. Let's see. She went into the hornet's nest. They're dumblebees. Those women are dumblebees. Do not comply. Exactly. Reject the poison. Ren says, who else got through the past few years without the jab? I didn't even take a test. Not only is my blood pure, but my blood-brain barrier has never been poked. So, I'm unvaxxed and untested. Shout out Ortho Lady. Her whole family's pure blood. Good job. Good job. You were able to withstand $1 trillion worth of propaganda. And all those celebrities and politicians, all the gaslighting, gotta do it for grandma. My gosh, this is awesome. Speaking to the YouTube audience, because I've been, you guys on Rumble and Pilled over there, following me for the last 5 years, here all the time. You're great. I love you. But I'm not going to lie. It's kind of been an echo chamber, right? And sometimes that was draining. Just saying the same things to the people that already believed the things and knew the things I was going to say, and it was just like kind of an echo chamber. I mean, that's another good thing about going to YouTube, is that trying to reach new audiences of people who don't believe the exact same thing, it's not an echo chamber. Got to reach new folks with new ideas. And speaking of the Old State Saloon, the owner of the bar, Mark, he just texted me. He said I have a lot of trolls. Funny. Apparently, I guess. So anyway, good to see all you guys on YouTube again. Ooh, why did you do that? Why did you tell me the score of the Mariners game? 12-2. The Blue Jays are beating the Mariners. Please be lying to me. Mariners are getting smoked that bad. Ouch. Well, they're losing this one. Sup, Simone? You were at Anarchapulco when the scam hit. Could not have had a better lockdown. Actually, I loved the lockdown. It was great. I was just chilling, streaming, doing the things. The only thing that sucked was having to go to the grocery store to get food, because I'd get hassled every single time. Try to run as fast as I could with no mask on. But other than that, I didn't have to do anything. I just hung out. It was solid. All right, we'll get back to the chat here. I really want to talk to you guys and get used to this new thing called YouTube I'm on. But is anything else I need to talk about really that important? I'll just read the headlines. LA County declares a state of emergency over the ICE raids, mobilizes taxpayer-funded relief efforts. Good luck with that. I'm sure Tom Homan will have a field day with... Is it Karen Bass? Is she still mayor there in LA? Tom Homan's going to have a field day with that bass ass. Good luck, LA. Get wrecked. Venezuela. What's going on down there is escalating. Trump said today that he basically greenlit operations for the CIA to go in there. And he is thinking about striking land targets. So not just the drug boats that they're hitting with the missiles. Also might send in, who knows, some B-2s. Hit a few cartel targets in Venezuela. Send in the drones. Get wrecked, cartel. Mitt Romney's sister-in-law found dead near a parking garage. And it's sketchy because Mitt Romney's brother tried to make sure that sister-in-law that died got nothing in their divorce before she died. So that looks a little sketchy. Mitt Romney's brother is trying to make sure this gold digger got nothing. And then the gold digger died. Although she might not be a gold digger. He might be an asshole. If he's Mitt Romney's brother, I'm going to assume he's an asshole. And might have been just trying to stiff her, which he maybe was rightfully owed. What the hell is on her forehead? Ladies, you don't need to do that to your eyebrows either. You don't need to do things to your nose. The Botox looks weird. The caterpillar eyebrows look weird. Like, ladies, come on. You've been lied to by the TV. This shit looks funky. Most guys aren't attracted to that. And if they are, they've been brainwashed by the TVs too. I guess that's the guy. He looks like he would screw you over in a business deal. Let's see. Tucker Carlson's out here saying he personally knows U.S. Congress representatives are engaging in orgies.
What an odd thing to say.
Hell no, to the no, 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 hell to the no.
How would you personally know that, Tucker? How would you know that, Tucker? Can you imagine? That's what they were doing in the basement of ping pong. I had to stop myself there. I was definitely going to continue with that train of thought and probably gross you out because my humor is dark. It's dark. Darker than an NFL free safety. Unless they play for the Eagles. Oh, Tucker, you dog! Anyway. And then Scott Bessent reveals the IRS is now following the money behind Antifa's coordinated violence. But I guess not now because the government's shut down. So who at the IRS is following that money trail at the moment? I'd rather the IRS just be shut down, but they can follow the money trail to Soros first and then get wrecked. All right, that's enough. This is tough on YouTube. Well, this channel's not monetized. So what I usually do for my streams is that go through the news for about 40, 50 minutes, and then I bring in some music to do the live chat with. But the issue is, well, it's nice on YouTube and Rumble because you don't get copyright strikes. But on YouTube, you can get the copyright strikes. But granted, my channel's not monetized anyway, so does it matter? Probably not. I could probably bring in some music. But I'll save it. I'll save it for next stream. I'll make sure I have like copyright-free music or whatever. Because I would like to get this channel monetized. I mean, why not? But I don't know if there's a chance. Maybe not. There's a lot of comments on this screen right now. This setup works, I guess. Smush Rumble down there. YouTube over there. Pilled. That's cool. I'll give it to Tucker that he can get people to come up here to the woods and talk about anything and everything. I, frankly, somewhat enjoy Tucker. His obnoxious laugh makes me cringe. The forced one. But I don't mind Tucker. I'll listen to a Tucker cast every once in a while. Badass Simone likes this setup watching on the 50-inch. Connected to the phone. Nice. It's cool, bro. Ha, some people love the Tucker laugh. Do I dare try to imitate it? I don't know if I can. Sometimes it's funny. When he's like purposely forcing the forced laugh. Just to troll some shit. But sometimes it makes me like, eh. Tucker is groomed. You're very confident. He's very well groomed. Have you seen his hair? I mean, dude, he's been at the highest levels of the mainstream media for years and years. Of course he's had training. Now, who is he trained by? Was it the CIA? Was it done with a dark agenda? Maybe at one point he was being trained and groomed with a dark agenda, but he changed. He decided to go his own way. Is he still having puppet strings on him? I don't know. But I listen. And I make up my own mind. Do I trust him? I don't not trust him. I don't trust him at the same time. Because I don't know the guy. You got to be careful with internet faces. You don't know them. And they could just be a useful idiot repeating misinformation themselves, right? Oh, good old Ben Shapiro. That's definitely somebody I don't listen to. When Putin told Tucker he was a CIA wannabe to his face. Yeah, that was funny. That was funny shit. Thoughts on Erica Kirk, or is that off limits? Hey, nothing's off limits, but is that a mod in my chat? What is that? The hell? Do I have mods? Oh, welcome, Lydia. You're dead. Okay, cool. You're still a mod after 5 years. I didn't even remember having mods. Welcome. Wild, man. A lot of these little like channel came back, populated. people, we're still subscribed and getting notifications, and pretty rad. Good to see Liz Crokin back too. Yeah, Liz Crokin, Praying Medic, waiting on Red Pill 78 to get his channel back, an SGT report, and a bunch of those guys. Slowly. They're coming back slowly. So, in due time. No, but nothing's off limits. I just, I'm not, I am opinionated, but I do my best to make sure my opinions are backed up with evidence to make me confident in those opinions. I don't want to have shitty opinions. But I also need the questions to be specific if you want like a specific answer. So, you know. And I also try my best not to assume things. Does Space Shot have his channel back? YouTube channel? Be cool. Good for him, if so. Oh, cool. Space Shot is back. Nice. Good for him. Got about 200 live. YouTube was having some massive problems today, though. Let's check down detector. Is it still down? Down, 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 down. Kind of coming back, but YouTube be janky. Big outage. That was like right when I was uploading videos and going live here too, so. Yeah, some people still finding out that I'm back on YouTube now. Yeah, buddy. Like, wait. It's the new golden age of YouTube. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm wondering about those algorithms, and I'm wondering about that monetization. When I uploaded my YouTube gave me my channels back video 5 days ago, I had a few people tell me in the comments that they saw the video in the suggested section and they weren't subscribed. Kind of surprising. Maybe the algorithms will be a little more friendly to us. Maybe that's why YouTube just went down an hour ago. They were updating their algorithms to censor us all again. Question, do I know where to find alternate treatments for prostate cancer? I might be able to lead you in the right direction. Shoot me an email. Shoot me an email or a DM somewhere. Probably email would be best. And I'll do my best to help you. Cool. All right, guys. Any last questions, comments, concerns, complaints? Drop it in the chat. I'll be on the lookout for those. I will be back here on Friday. Normal time, though. 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. The illusion has been destroyed, bro. Now it's time to understand the illusion. We must understand it. Yeah. Ha! Dang, bro. A full beard finally. No spotted patches. A little spotty. Little spotty on the cheeks. But it's coming in. It's coming in a bit more now. All right, last question for you guys. Haircut or not? Winter's coming. Anytime winter comes, every fall, I get the urge just to grow out everything. Beard, hair, just let it grow all winter. But then I get to a point where I start regretting it. Haircut or nah? Short hair or keep growing? I'll be looking at your comments. Ever heard of Russell J. Gould? Yeah, and I remember looking into that guy years ago, and I was not a fan. I got a lot of clickbait vibes from him. Give Cab another look? I've given him enough looks, man. I'm sorry. Just does not resonate with me. The Pleiadian channeling, claiming his mom does the channeling. I don't know. And I caught Cobb faking UFO videos too many times. Friggin' helicopters and space debris or Pleiadian motherships. I don't know who Stephen Gardner is. Any thoughts on Tartaria? Yeah, I have some thoughts on it, but it's not a rabbit hole I ever ventured down or felt any kind of pull or desire to go down, because a lot of the headlines or the brief hot take comments I saw on Tartaria just felt really clickbaity. Felt really like it almost had a flat earth clickbait vibe to it. Like people taking stuff way too sensationalized. Elena Denon, in my opinion, is not worth looking at. I've looked at her enough. Sorry, I disagree with that one. Do I listen to Archaics? Not really. I tried a couple times. Just didn't really vibe. Have I been following Ben Davidson from Space Weather News? Yeah, I'm subscribed to his channel. I don't watch him every day, but every so often I'll go through a Ben Davidson phase. Stephen Gardner, check him out. Yeah, maybe. One more, JP. You're talking about Michael Sala's guy? Yeah, I don't know. I met him years ago. I actually watched Sala interview him, and I got a video of it, but that was back when he was private, so I never, out of respect for them, even though I haven't talked to Sala in years, I never put that video out. But I met JP years ago, and he resonated like a well-meaning dude, like a good dude. But that doesn't mean I believe what he's saying. So I have a difficult time with what he's saying, but yes, flat earth stuff is totally retarded. Which will moon first, NASA or Bitcoin? What's your definition of moon with Bitcoin, though? When people bought it at $1, $100 Bitcoin is probably mooning to them. So that's quite relative. I like that though. Rumble comment says they lied to us about every flat earth. Don't so retard. Can you try typing that again? What's up, Forrest friend over on Pilled? Appreciate the tip jar edition there. Let it grow. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. I might go hit the barber in the morning. I'm sorry. But I'll let the beard grow. Starting to get a couple little grays in it if you look close. Which I got no problem with. What state am I in now? I'm currently in the 208. They have lied to us about everything. What makes you think they would lie to us about flat Earth? Because they have not lied to us about everything. They have lied to us about a few things, for sure. But every single thing? Every single thing? They told me the sky was blue, and the sky looks pretty blue to me. No, they haven't lied about everything. Okay. And you can do your own basic math, basic discernment to figure out the Earth is not flat. You don't have to listen to authorities to do your own proving. So... check out Father Spyridon Bailey's The UFO Deception. Yeah, I don't really vibe with the fundamentalist Christian approach to UFOs, where they say it's all just demons. I don't know Father Bailey or his UFO Deception book, but that's what it sounds like. Sounds like he's going down that path. And the fundamentalist religious approach to cosmology ain't my thing. Neither is the New Age. I think there's a bit of BS in New Age land too, don't get me wrong, but there's also a lot of BS in the land of religion, let us be honest. And by BS, I mean misinterpretations, mistranslations, yeah, that. Idaho red, Boise purple. Yeah, a little bit. But even then, it's kind of relative, right? Like, I'll go from freaking Western Washington to Boise, and then you got people in Idaho complaining about, Boise's so liberal. Like, you shithead, you've never left this state, have you? Let's take a drive. 8 hours. northwest. And then you'll be driving through Washington seeing pride flags on preschools. Yes, I did. I had to drive by that preschool all the time. Oh my God. The YouTube chat is fun to have, man. Because I like the, differing opinions. Questions with that. All right, I got a jet though, guys. Dinner needs to be made. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, hanging out. I don't think I've ever been to Ashland, Oregon. Might have just driven through, but another one of them hippie cities. Goddamn hippies. But I like hippie cities, kind of, right? I like the eclectic and eccentric, but you get too many of those friggin' pride flags, then it gets too much. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, y'all. I'll see you Friday. Badlands Media Show on Friday. If you want to go tune into that, Maha News. 1 p.m. Pacific. Right? 1? Yeah. Badlands Friday. Might do an impromptu pilled stream over the next couple of days. And be uploading some stuff to YouTube now, I guess. Pretty amazing. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a good evening.